Hello, I am back once again, and surprise, we're actually on schedule right now. We're on time. It's a rarity these days because, due to me having a job now, I'm often a little bit, yeah, I'm just busy. Like, it's just, you have work and then you decide, I want to do something else. They do it in the evening. However, I have 2 streams a week and a podcast. That's already 3 nights in a week gone. And sometimes stuff gets scuffed, planning gets scuffed, and yeah. But here we are. So yeah, let's do some more stormworks with code. Get some more monitors working, trying to get that to fully work. Will it immediately work? Of course not. Hello, by the way. Let me grab my ring, because a fidget ring is a surprisingly good thing to have. Although I ordered mine way too big. So instead of being able to put on my finger that's usually used for, to put on my index finger. But still. It's basically just a ring with basically like a gear type thing, because, mechanical engineering, all that stuff. It is then split in two, so you basically have 2 rings that glide over it to move separately. But yeah, it's good entertainment if you have to wait for a bit, or if you're bored, and because there's bumps on it, basically, it's useful to crack an egg. You can just knock on it with the ring and egg will break. Although I wouldn't advise to do it with a raw egg, because you have to hit it decently hard. And if it's raw and it's all liquid or a slime, you just put your finger into the egg. With a boiled egg, it's a lot easier. Then it's just a matter of knock on it a bunch of times so that everything cracks, and boom, you're done. Alright, let's see, where was I last time? Because I'm not watching my own content back. First we flip the display switch on. Then we press this button. Then we press this button. And it takes forever to start up. Yeah, I have to It is still way too sensitive. Ooh, that's smooth. Like, of course it's not available if there's no power. And then once it settles into a nice and neat number. Like, it settles at 14. Then once I apply the clutch, it sort of drops. It should climb again after this. Like, if I just give it full beans. I'm doing quite high speeds for such a large vessel. Exterior lights, nav lights, interior lights, bridge lights. Let's turn the weather off so it's all natural. Right. And I pressed it too early. Now I can press it again. Yes. Also, I might want to redesign this entire system. Or at least... You see, the main problem I currently have, right? Is because these arms go above and they remain on top, if the boat is already too low, it will just get trapped underneath and flip, and then you're screwed. However, with a slight redesign, I should be able to keep it the way it is by cutting this, twisting it, and putting it right here. Might as well put it like upright. Then merge them again. Then do the same thing with this one. There we go. Is that at the same level? No, this is at the same level. Yep. Paste. That way, this is a lot nicer on the actual lifeboats. It does look a little bit more sketch, but to be fair, I just want this boat to function at least. Like a functioning lifeboat is quite important to me. So let's see if the ropes are still connected, and if so, are they just leaning on the... Alright, now for the ultimate test. Let's... This button does nothing. Throttle up a lot. Because after this I'm gonna blow it up, right? I'm gonna do the same thing I do every stream. Blow the ship to bits. No, we were going fast. Right, we want to move somewhere where we can actually sink properly. And then still to fix the bottom again. Alright. How deep is it over here? Quite deep. Or not really that deep. Cheese. Yes. Hello, Gaming Baron. It's been a while. It's been a long time. But now we should be heading into the deep end. Yes. It would be funny if I had if I actually had cheese in my room that I would that I was just eating. Imagine cheese. Everybody just agrees that cheese is good. Oh, there's a crate. I'm not gonna be picking that up. I'm in creative. I don't need money. Yes. Right, this water should be deep enough in theory for this massive boat to does look quite cool in this at this angle. Oh, don't worry, we're blowing it up. Just want it to be somewhere a little bit deeper, so the boat can actually sink and I can test out my new lifeboat system. Right, we have C4. The engines are turning off, don't worry. We're gonna blow this boat up all the way. We're gonna place one here. We're gonna put one here. Then we're gonna grab two more. They're already gonna be starting it by shooting there. Right, that should do the trick. Potentially. More explosions. There we go. This should do the trick, right? Let me just refill. Boom, boom, and boom. Right now, let me quickly escape. By deploying this lifeboat. Like, the way you deploy these is just You go in. Oh, now you don't reach that one. Well, then you climb the ladder, I guess. You climb the ladder, you pick up the rear one, then you drop in, you jump to grab the second one. Then you close the hatch, and boom. If I still use the old system, they would be stuck now. Then if you want to get out, you just ladder, open up the hatch. Right, I'm gonna see if it's half submerged. Like, first of all, you don't even need to, if you can reach the lifeboat from the water. Come on, ladder. Come on, ladder. Do it. Grab the ladder. There we go. Like... What? Boom. Yes. Like, if you're late to the sink, if you're, you know, deep within the ship and it's already sinking. Whoops. Whoops. I don't think I can park here. How's the flooding doing, actually? Well... I hate to say it. Oh. Oh. Oh, I have problems now with... I should back out. I need to back off. Otherwise we would get stuck underneath the bridge. With what? Do you need assistance in... just, like... stormworks related stuff, or just my confusion? Actually, I need to test something out here. I need to really test something. I need to do it now. Like, I need... Come on, ladder, bloody ladder. No, don't go off it again. Get on the ladder. Just connect the rope there, and then... I wanna... Quit pulling away, I need to... What is this? I just want to get onto this lifeboat. Come on. I might be able to reach it if I time this incredibly correct. Alright, oh, I'm on it. Alright, let me close this hatch. Let me then jump over the lifeboat. Because of course. Get into the lifeboat again, close the hatch, sit. This way you can daisy chain your lifeboats together and flip them. Yeah, I think I've made a slight oopsie here. Oh wait, no, if you just walk one way, you can right yourself. Yeah. Yeah, don't turn too fast or your lifeboat will capsize. But if you do it slowly and gently, you can just make a train of lifeboats. Alright, open up the hatch. crawl out.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, there it goes. Ah, that sounded crunchy. You have mic issues again.
Do I have mic issues again?
You had, at least.
Yeah.
Does it tire
I had to unplug my headphones real quick, but it
by...
seems to be fine now.
I think I may have made a mistake here. Yeah, I've definitely made a mistake here. Oh, wait. I might be able to reach the door that way. Not the door, the door. Aw. Welcome to stormworks, or physics, just physics. What I'm trying to do here, and it is actually working, is I'm trying to flood so I can get out of here. And I have to say, it is partially working. Like, there's actual water coming in now. This is going to be a little bit of a wait, isn't it? Nice. Helicopters are difficult to make. Also, I can make you jealous with the beverage I'm drinking.
Yes, you could, but you could also not.
Nice. Well, if the shirts just arrive, then...
Yeah, but it's gonna take a while for the shirts to arrive.
Then I can bring some with me.
It's not within my control.
Yeah. Also, the mounts for my number plates have... I can find it within the app of the company that's going to deliver them, DHL. But they don't have my package yet.
Okay. Curious.
It has basically like, alright, it is within our system. It's just not with us yet. But then I'm going to be driving around advertising this Twitch channel, because here in the Netherlands, just for context, our number plates can like the mounting is done either through screws, which will lead you to yellow caps, because our number plates are yellow with black letters and a little blue strip on the side that has basically the flag of the European Union and NL for Netherlands on it. Or it can also be clicked into place, and mine works through clicking, but somebody, I don't know what happened, but they're basically, yeah, it's completely submerged. Nice. Their tow hook got sent into my number plate. So my front number plate is dented. Not that that's illegal, it just looks a bit scuffed. And the number plate mounting is cracked a little bit, with a small chunk missing. Also, there's a name of a garage on there that I'm not sure if I'm not sure if it even exists still. So my idea was, I'm gonna do this the easy way. I'm gonna order two. First, I wanted blank ones, but those were also a little bit expensive. Then I thought, well, screw it. Almost 30 euros later, there are two custom ones with, instead of having the text of a company on there, it says twitch.tv/bushperson. So yeah, we'll actually be driving around with ads. So that everybody that looks at my number plate, especially the rear one, because that Twingo doesn't accelerate quickly. It just doesn't. Well, it can, but I'm not gonna rev the nuts off my engine every single time. You know, I'm not gonna just pedal to the metal. Then I'll just look like an asshole.
This is an interesting product.
What?
Jules.
What?
So, since I bought from this company when I was working, I still get ads from them every once in a while.
Yes.
It's A2 stainless,
Yeah.
but with a PTFE coating over it, aka Teflon coating. Suitable for, it says, marine, chemical process, food and beverage, oil and gas, pharmaceutical, electronics, construction, automotive, and aerospace applications.
Nice.
Including shipbuilding.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting product.
Yeah.
Instead of just having, they're not that expensive either. 56 cents per bolt.
Where should I put more monitors in place? Actually, you know what I should be working on? A system that I want to implement in this space here, within the chimney. That is sort of air conditioning, more like ventilation. So I can pull air in, get everything at an equal pressure, and if the boat sinks, you can either shut the place down, so you know it's actually sealed, or you can keep it open and flood the ship that way. Because what would be funnier than allowing the flooding of a ship, like, from just the air conditioning? Like, you just... Alright, we're safe in this room, the doors are closed, and then all of a sudden the vents start leaking water. At that point, you might as well just open the doors and let the water in, because, yeah. Also, some people can't drive. Actually, what I should do is I should get a dash cam, and basically every stream have a little section called how bad is, or like, some words. I have to think of a title all of a sudden. Like, just a little segment about people that can't drive. Because today, on the way to work, I had a van behind me, a little, like a taxi van. And its lights were directly into each of my side mirrors. And they were bright, so I was basically getting blinded from both ends. Like, left and right. And on the way back, I had a German tourist who was doing the speed limits that were set because of roadworks. But nobody adheres to those speed limits. You are allowed to do 100 kilometers per hour. The speed limits are still, like, it starts with 70, but after a bit you get some lane, like you have a lane merging and, you know, an exit. And then the speed limit goes down to 50 kilometers per hour. After that it goes back up to 70, and then it remains at 70 until it goes back to 100 again. Usually everybody just does 100. Like, nobody cares, just drive. However, because of course a tourist doesn't know that, because, you know, they haven't driven there before, and I fully understand that, but they did 50, and I was just getting frustrated. Because I'm tired as well, because I basically slept 3 hours, which I can tell you is not enough. And had an entire day of work behind me, you know? because yeah, I do get paid, but it is basically I spend 160 hours on a job where all I basically do is work in a PDF editor. And I get paid good money for that. Although, I do have to mention the work that I do is vital. Because basically, like, our company does air conditioning stuff in office buildings. And I basically decide what kind of what number zone it gets, and what is connected to what. Like, that's basically what I've been doing for over 1.5 months now. So, yeah. That basically means that what I've been doing is make blueprints. Like, you basically get like a floor plan, and I then have to number and everything and all that stuff, put in an Excel sheet, because of course. And then the people at the job site use that as a reference. The people who do the coding use it as a reference. So you have the coding correctly, so that it says that this valve is connected to this sensor, or this light is connected to this sensor, so that you don't run into one room and the lights go on in the other. That would be slightly inconvenient. You just enter a room, lights don't go on, you look next to you through the window, the lights are on there. You would call that slightly embarrassing. But yeah, it is important work, but at the same time, the work that I do can be seen as somewhat boring. Also, do I have captain's quarters? Like, the captain should have at least some extra luxuries, considering, it's the captain. They deserve some luxury. Because, the person actually in control of the ship needs to be well rested. Needs to have, proper stuff. Needs to be able to present himself in a fresh and well-dressed manner, because if you have a captain that just looks rough, he's gonna act a bit rough as well, because that's just how it works. If you dress bad, you're gonna feel bad. Which it can be a great tip. If you properly dress yourself, then you'll probably go through life a little bit happier. Because you can look to the mirror and be like, yes, I did that. I dressed myself. I have the ability to put on clothes. If you say it like that, it doesn't sound all that, special. But especially if you have people that have struggled with things like depression and all that stuff, it can actually be a big step. Like, actually being able to say, I did that. It basically says I can manage to do something, and if I can do one thing, I can do more things. And they start doing those more things. I should have put doors in the back here. window. This saves some weight, although aren't doors heavier? No, doors are lighter, so this saves some weight off the back. And then we have, we have this panel here, which I guess I should actually start naming them. I'm gonna actually expand it a little bit. The reason they don't give a warning signal is because I did connect them to this battery. Which means that I probably gonna have to eventually disconnect the battery from everything. In fact, let's just do it now and then use the warning labels as a way to see if I no. Alright. Everything has been disconnected. I almost want to say privacy reasons. But then again, it's stormworks. Right, time to do some sketchy electrical shit and use 3 large electric batteries on a single circuit breaker. Actually, are there games that are there engineering games that actually have different gauges of wire? Where it's not just like, oh, you put a wire in between and to make it work, but you have to actually care about the thickness of the wire. Because if you're on a high enough voltage through it, or amperage at least, then it will start to get hot. And then you get molten cables, and then you get a song by the Talking Heads called Burning Down the House. Because electricity can be dangerous. So only mess with it if you know what you're doing. And don't just say, oh, I know what I'm doing when you don't. When you aren't sure, just think, do I fully understand electricity as it is? If you can answer yes to that question, then you might get to mess around with it. Otherwise, it's basically, yeah, just go to school for it a little bit. Disconnected. This button isn't even connected to anything. Oh, this looks kind of cool though. All the warning signs. Basically screaming, stuff isn't connected. Help. Right, I need to name the first breaker. This is gonna be, I guess, caps lock needs to be turned off. Monitors. This one will go to every single monitor in this building. Or in this no, I should call it bridge. Bridge controls. It's always going to be on, because that is just how it works. And it's going to connect to this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Bridge controls also include the horn. And these monitors are all for the bridge controls. Then we have the engine, because that's just how the engine works. It requires electricity to start. Speaking of, once I've connected all of this, I am gonna get an electric starter. That's also just gonna be the powertrain stuff, like the clutches and everything. My question is now, do I put the watertight doors also on a switch, on a breaker? That does mean that if something like a megalodon were to hit or something were to happen and the bridge gets damaged, that all the watertight doors stop functioning. Do I want to keep it as unsinkable as it is? Or do I... Actually, I have an idea. I have a slight idea, alright? Just a slight idea. Is this the battery room? This is the battery room, but instead we're gonna put that towards the center. Within the logic room. Can I fit a medium battery in here? Still. Yes, I can. Because this medium battery is going to be the emergency battery. What it does, it just powers the emergency doors. And the reason I'm putting it within the center of the ship is the same reason why the logic is there. Safety. Because that means that if the logic is damaged for said doors, that there's a big chance that the battery is also going to be dead. There we go. That means you don't have to connect that. What else? I guess bridge controls is also the I'm also gonna connect the rudders to that. Like the lifeboats are internally powered, so that isn't really a thing. Lifeboats. Yeah, the 3 hours of sleep are hitting. Yes. I guess exterior lights now? Lights. Interior lights. Also, I decided I want to fix my car up a little bit more, right? Like there are some interior panels, like a speaker cover and like the center trim fascia bit, that also has damage because some people decided, let's put a cable through it. I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna basically grab a Dremel and just make a little hole or a little bite out of it and put a cable through there. Annoying thing is about that though, the cables aren't there anymore, but the holes are still there. So I get to have the fun of finding a suitable replacement. The thing is, they're made from unobtainium, because I only found one speaker cover, and it was in France on a classic car website. I looked at a lot of junkyard websites to try and see if I could find even one of them. But apparently, I said they're really rare to find. That also means they're probably going to be expensive. It's also very difficult to look up because first of all, I don't really know what it's called. Second of all, it is. I could get replacements, but it would be a replacement with space for like a little bit of a like a monitor, like a TV thing that you can put into your car for like Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, those type of screens, and I don't really want those. You know, I have a radio with an SD card in it. I'm perfectly fine. Like, I like my car with its lack of distractions. I like it that way. It gives the feeling of actually driving. And also, I have no tachometer, so I don't know my revs. Well, I do know if they are high or low because you hear the engine, but it also just means that you have. It's not like the car just does everything you tell it to. Well, it still does everything you tell it to do. Otherwise, it does nothing. But you are the one that has to listen to the car and its reaction to you. Let out the clutch too quickly, and you've now stalled. So you have to be careful with that. Paints with indicators. Do I even have interior lights yet? I don't think so. No. Why don't I have interior lights yet? Well, that doesn't mean I don't have to connect anything to them. What still gives me a warning light? Cameras, of course. The cameras. Cameras. Let me actually check if my package is already actually with them. Yeah. Like it is within their system. It's just not with them yet. I want my twitch.tv/bushperson license plate holders. I want them. I want to be able to drive around advertising my Twitch channel. Because it's funny. Like if you see a blue Renault Twingo driving around with that underneath its number plate, you can pretty much just assume it's me. Wait, that would be an excellent merch idea.
Number plate merch?
Number plate holders.
You definitely be the first to do that. That's for sure.
Well, weirdly enough, I have like one of the radio stations that I occasionally listen to has actually done it. Like as like a sort of raffle, like just giving it to a caller. And they're not that expensive either. I spent like almost like $30, not even, like 26 euros on a pair of two. So they're not that expensive. More people should look into customizing their car that way. Like instead of going all out and doing like a stance build or, you know, modifying heavily, just keep it simple. and put custom license plate holders on it. It's a modification that still allows for great personalization,
But that's not as fun though.
and it doesn't drop the value of the car that much. Because that is the main issue with car modifications. The price drop you get. As soon as you lower it, as soon as you put different wheels on it, as soon as you do anything to that car that isn't standard or replacing it with a standard part, it's gonna drop in value. Especially if you put a loud exhaust underneath. Alright, this is gonna be the brake for the lifeboats. Lifeboats. Like if if you can't get the arms to the side, big whoop, it doesn't matter. You just wait for the boat to sink and then get on the lifeboat. Then let's get the breakers for the crew. Sleeping quarters. Take a sip of orange liquid. Also, I did get to use my DP60. Like yesterday. I got to use my DP60. You know, the knockoff WD-40 that I got in London.
Oh,
Poundland, because
that stuff.
Well,
how did you even find that stuff, man? Like,
we were walking through Poundland and just saw it.
right, but of course.
Yeah. You casually find that.
I wouldn't.
Yeah, but you don't go to London, so of course you don't
Fair.
find it. At some point, going to London might just be a fun idea to do. And it's also reasonably cheap.
In terms of holidays, at least.
Yes. And due to its close nature, also fairly easily to just go to during a weekend. Like you could pretty much say Friday evening is going to be the train to London, and then like Saturday evening or Sunday during the day is the time when is the time we go back. It's just a 4-hour journey. If you start from Amsterdam, of course. Otherwise it's going to be a little bit longer.
Yeah, it might be slightly longer for me, but probably not by that much.
Just add like 2 hours to it. Probably. Depends how long the trip to Amsterdam Central is. Oh yeah, and you have to be there 1.5 hours beforehand, so you add another... Your trip will, in total, probably around 6 to 8 hours, so it's just a day of travel. But 1.5 hours of that is spent at a terminal, because you have to be there early. You know, so that if you are late, you are still capable of getting onto the train, which should be sound like a good idea for you, knowing how you are with time.
What? What are you on about?
Your ability to be late with everything.
What?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
just leave earlier.
I know. I could.
It's
But
not
where's the fun in that?
it's not that hard. Just leave at a time where you still have like half an hour extra to get somewhere.
I do if I have to.
Yeah, but just assume it's for every single situation, for every place you go to that you have to do that.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Because that ensures you are on time.
Fair.
Is this the part that feeds? Yeah, that's just the part that feeds the engine. Then there's also the part that sucks the fluid out of it. No, I don't put it there. Alright, so I basically want to add a T-piece here. So I want to add a T-piece. Where is it? I'm just going to look up pipe. Pipe T-piece. There it is. Right, then we use a flow valve, which we're going to do a darker color. Right, this one is out and this one is in. There we go. That is that. Then this gets to be connected to the fuel system, which we are going to name fuel system. But aren't there buttons here to... No, there are not. I don't have internal buttons to actually pump in or out. I don't have the ability to pump out. I know how to deal with that. We just add another pump to the system. You know, I'm sure that these pipes won't get overloaded at all. Also, I do have to visit the toilet real quick. So I guess I'm gonna put it to be right back. Jordan, do you have the ability to entertain chat for a second?
I don't think I do.
Well, I would say give it a try. Who knows?
I don't know. I don't even know what you're streaming right now.
I'm making a boat, but I mean, if I ask Jim, he starts telling myths. So,
Well, I don't have myths to tell.
just think of something, some weird or bullshit thing that happened to you recently.
Weird old bullshit thing that happened to me recently.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I can't think of one.
Trains.
It's not necessarily bullshit. Somebody jumped in front of it.
Yeah, that's not bullshit. That's just horrifying.
Yes. But that's no fun.
Or any other like frustrating thing with like maybe some work stuff that had to be done over like 3 times. Just think of something.
Why do you go to that off the top of your head? Is that
I'll tell you once I'm back from the toilet.
Okay.
So I guess I'll be right back.
Right. Well, let's see. Let's first check if there's actually anyone in chat. Because if there's nobody here, then well. Okay, there might actually be people here. Oh well. I don't know. I don't do streaming for a reason. Okay, that's for sure. There's also not a very interesting screen either. Like, like if I could show my screen, then at least I have something to talk about or something to show. But I am kind of focusing on wiring right now, so I'm sorry, chat, if I won't be entertaining. He'll probably be back quickly, right?
Bacon.
He's back.
Yes.
Well, chat, were you entertained by the awkward silence that followed?
By the sound of silence.
Yes. The only thing I managed to say to chat is that this is the reason why I don't stream.
Because, yeah, I guess.
And then I ran out of IDs.
Like, the big thing that might be that also partially got me on this path was, as a child, I really liked to talk when I was gaming. Like, even on my tablet, just say what I was doing.
I have the same when, well, every once in a while when I'm like working on Redstone or something like that. But I can't show anything. So that doesn't help much.
I think I'm gonna keep this with buttons. No, I'm gonna put the buttons as a monitor because it's optional. Let me get a breaker for the fuel system. That's this one, and then it also powers this, this, and this. Which then only leaves these three, so basically I'm gonna call that the AC unit. I'm gonna call it the airco. And also, a couple of days ago, I just had a day. Like, you know, a day where everything that can go wrong will go wrong.
Oh yeah, our
One of those
favorite
days where,
kind of days.
once you figured it out, once you have one of those, you just stop doing anything at all. Just stop doing any major things, because they will go wrong, and you don't want that. So just stop doing very important things and just do them tomorrow. But of course, when you have a job and you're doing that job at that time, you do not have that option. You have to commit to, you know, the entire thing of actually doing your job. Surprisingly enough, right? You have to do your job, or else you get fired. They need two, so basically 3 length. Well, is fuel pumps, fuel pumps. Yeah, I was basically, like, the numbering that I do, it's just counting up, right? And I had a part of a floor that had like 81 rooms, or at least like zones. And then I started doing other stuff, like putting things. I think I was doing like ceiling stuff. And then I was looking at, like, right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. Fuck. I did 8. I put 8 down twice in 2 different rooms, in 2 different zones, which is not allowed. It's not correct. You get a conflict, especially if you put it in code, because then things get confused with each other. So then you get to redo basically 8 from 8 to 80. But not only the zones, but all the, all the sensors, all the thermostats, all that. You can also renumber those. That adds another extra 2 hours to your job, basically. Like, it's just, oh yeah, you've wasted a lot of time with this. But I also got a phone call from the recruitment agency yesterday, and they are very happy with me still. They are happy that. Wait, this needs to be an output. These needs to be inputs. Yeah, you start with these and you end with this, and you have Lua in the middle. But that's the biggest. So that's a big relief for me that they are still happy that I'm working there. Because for some reason, I just think about that. Like, it could be done. I can be a little bit anxious at times. You have to thank my dad for that. But hey, without trauma, how else would you get a good sense of humor? I know what you're thinking. You know my sense of humor, and it's just dick jokes, and jokes are just bad.
Yeah, how does that happen from trauma? That just seems like bad humor, to be fair. I don't think that's trauma related.
No, it's just my severe lack of humor, actually.
Yeah.
Alright, let's just grab this piece of code. Shove that piece of code in here. Now this will just draw a square. It will. That's what this will do. Just square. But I also need to get the colors. I have it written down somewhere, right? The colors for this stuff. Somewhere within my thick slab of paper. Not it. Not it. Nope, that's something I'm gonna need soon enough. This for the radar bit. Ah, there's RGB. It's also funny to write in cursive again, because it's a lot more different than what you're used to, of course.
Well, depends on what you're used to. If you're used to cursive, then
yeah, but like
okay, that was weird.
With like at school, I don't know how it was at your school, but like as it's like a 5-year-old child, I got learned to write in cursive. That was the first with those fun. Is it fountain pen? At least those pens always
those
leaked.
Terrible pens that you always use, that you insisted on continuing to use.
Well, yeah, your fingers get a little bit blue.
A little bit.
There's a lot more comfort in writing. It does write a lot nicer.
I can confirm, chat, that it was not a little bit.
It all depended on...
Every time he got home, he was a smurf. There was no in between.
But yeah. There's a lot more comfort with those pens, in my opinion. With the writing. Like, it just write, in my opinion, is better than a standard ball pen. I guess screen. How do you do set color again? Set color, screen dot set color. Dot set color. Is it with or without the U? Oh, come on, it's American English. I added the U to color, but it didn't want it. But yeah, do you want to know actually, what I used DP60 for? Because it's kind of dumb.
I don't know if I do then. Do I? Is that something I want to
I
know?
I had to use it on the rear, on my car, on the lock for the trunk. Because if you want to unlock,
How and why?
if you want to unlock a trunk of a first generation Renault Twingo, you have to, without, I don't have central locking, so I have to put the key in every hole. Hey,
No.
there you have my sense of humor. But like, it doesn't go that deep. Hey, but my sense of humor then. The key you have to put in all the way.
2 seconds. he managed 2 seconds without making another dick joke.
Yeah, and then I said I have to put the key all the way in.
Oh my.
Yeah. The amount of jokes
You
I
see
make
what we have to put up with, chat?
is quite big.
I survived 4 years with this man.
And you still are surviving because you're still on a call with me, so yeah. But you
Yeah.
put it within like the Renault logo. There's a little black plastic part that you put the key and you twist it like 180 degrees to the left to unlock and to the right to lock. Then you have to pull the key out, or not, but you have to push the black plastic bit in, and then it unlocks.
You should usually pull out, Jules.
Yes.
Like, come on.
Although it is not an entirely reliable technique, so be careful with it.
Moving
But
on.
but you pull the key out and then you push the plastic bit in and then it pops open. But the plastic bit is supposed to spring back out. So it can latch itself when you shut it again. But mine didn't want to do the popping back out part. It was just sort of stuck. Didn't really want to move. So I thought, well, it seems to be kind of stuck. It does want to, but it's weird. Probably dirty from 18 years of grime and build up and everything. So I just shoved some DP60 into it, into like every hole I could find that was related to the trunk latch. And then it started working. So DP60 actually works really well. And it is concerning.
Like, better than the other, or?
Better than WD-40? Not sure. I have both, so I can put them to the test.
Well, that's a video idea and a half. WD-40 versus the others.
If only we were still in school and we could do the with the project, because it is material science, sort of.
Is that material science? Could you qualify that as material science?
Well, you could go into the composition of the
yes, but
of the things.
Was our school level high enough for that?
No.
No, definitely no.
Well, I did have some chemistry earlier at previous schools, but
I didn't actually. I somehow managed to like skip all of advanced chemistry.
well, I don't have that advanced chemistry, but I do know that if you burn something, it's basically a reaction with oxygen.
Yeah, okay, that's really, really basic.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. Which is why if you burn hydrogen, you burn the molecule H.
Hydrogen bomb. Oh no,
And you
that's
add
something slightly different.
O to it, then you get HO, but sometimes two hydrogen molecules will
Oh,
mix.
you might be
Yes,
going a little quick there.
sometimes two hydrogen molecules connect with one oxygen molecule, and that's called H2O. It's water. That's why I feel like we should find a fuel that is basically just hydrogen but for internal combustion engines. Although a traffic jam would get quite damp in that scenario.
I mean, hydrogen does just work in combustion engines, you know.
Yes. Although you do have
It's
to.
incredibly inefficient, but it does work.
And normal fuel isn't.
Not compared to hydrogen.
Ouch. But hydrogen can be produced cheaply. All you need to do is slap a solar panel on top and free hydrogen. You know, you can produce hydrogen basically for free.
Yeah, so upper limit of fuel cell efficiency is about 83%.
Yeah.
So that's fuel cell
Yeah.
hydrogen.
That's basically turning it
With
back into
combustions,
electricity.
it's 58.
Oof, so you're only using half the energy.
Yes, the rest is just gone to heat. I think part of that problem as well, because you like diesel and gas cars have
Yeah.
this problem as well, of course. But hydrogen, I think, burns hotter than both of those, so you lose even more to heat than you do with regular petrol or gasoline or diesel.
So your engine runs even hotter at that scenario,
Yeah, I think I'm.
which means you have to.
Don't use that information at school because I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that's the case.
That means that you have to up your cooling. You have to get a bigger radiator or a better one, or just, more ways to cool your engine. Oh, fuel pumps. Fuel pumps. Because I need to I need to find a different microcontroller and see what I have for the background color. 010. Alright. Open up this one. Just do 010. Oh, I have numlock turned off. Or yeah. There we go. 010. Then we do screen dot draw clear. There we go. Now we first.
Yeah. So combustion is also just incredibly inefficient. Is the
Like the
main thing.
the internal combustion engine in general is indeed inefficient.
Yeah. Inefficient.
But it is fun though.
Yes.
Also,
Diesel engines only convert about 35 to 40% of the energy in the fuel. So yeah,
yeah.
this is just a problem throughout.
So then, isn't
And then you
hydrogen
also
then
have
more
the
efficient? If it's
well,
50%?
I'm comparing two different sources that are saying different numbers, so I don't think we can say that. What we can say is that all combustion engines are inherently not very efficient, and we can
Yes.
make them more efficient via, well, of course, turbos, um, direct injection, and variable valve timing, and all that. But still, it's gonna be around the 50% mark.
Yes. Let me actually check when the 24-hour. Ah, there we go. 24-hour of the Nordschleife. I want to know when that is next year.
Yeah.
No, don't go to AI
Uh,
mode. Uh,
and then we also have the problem of energy density of hydrogen. Uh,
Is it 2025 schedule? I want to know for
Yeah.
2026.
So diesel has an energy density of 45.5 megajoules per kilogram.
Yeah.
Hydrogen has one of 45.8, so that's about the same. However, if we then go look at actual density,
Yeah,
density of
hydrogen requires a lot more
hydrogen,
space.
is 0.083 kilograms per square meter at atmospheric pressure and 20 degrees.
Yeah, atmospheric pressure, but what we
Yeah, so you should
usually do
increase
with
pressure, but by doing that you also increase danger. Of
yeah, that's
course.
why the fuel cells are safe. But I mean, like
But
that's why if you see it like everybody knows how a gas tank looks like. It's basically a box. But a
yeah,
hydrogen fuel tank for like even a car with a fuel cell instead of a combustion engine, is just like a tube. It's a pressure chamber.
yeah, yeah. But even then, you're gonna have to sacrifice a lot of interior space just for proper amount of fuel.
You're gonna get a massive transmission. Well, I want to say transmission tunnel, but it's just a fuel cell tunnel at that point. Well, you can put multiple in there. You can put a one in like in between the seats as a tunnel, and then one in the trunk as actual fuel tank. So you have two tanks.
Mm-hmm.
That means that if one starts to leak, you can just shut it, and then you just run with half capacity. It's redundancy. Means redundancy is often equivalent to reliability. There we go. Did it? Why did it do that? Yeah, I actually do want to go to the 24 Hours of the Nordschleife in next year.
Yeah.
From May 14th to May 17th. Purely because the Renault Twingo that was rumored to race there is actually gonna race there. Like, it has been approved. So then I could bring my Twingo to a race where a fellow Twingo is driving around for 24 hours. It's a car that's, like, of course it's heavily modified and everything, but it's not suitable at all. If you think about it, it's not a suitable vehicle. Do I have a constant on signal, or is this... I sure have a constant on signal somewhere, right? Right? Apparently not. Apparently I don't have a constant on signal. I do have constant numbers, though. But yeah, but that's next year. I mean, I still have enough time to get days off. Because I need days off. I need to save those again. Because I feel like I'm in the negative right now because I went on vacation to London without really...
You feel like you're in a negative, or you know that you're probably in the negative.
Oh, I went away for a week when I just started working.
Yeah, that's fine.
That you basically used 7 days worth of, well, 5. Hold on. I left on Tuesday, so yeah, that's 1 day already. Then you have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, which is already 4. Then you have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I used 8 days, I think, even. No, wait. I used 7 days off. But you have to accumulate them. So, yeah. But that's what happens when you book a vacation and then go find a job. This is the result you will often have. Oh, it does need to be the other way. Yay.
Just sounds like it may have been a case of slightly poor planning then.
Well, at that point, I knew I
Maybe.
wanted to find a job, but yeah. I guess. But, you know, the company's really chill. It's like, I'm not gonna say the name because of obvious reasons, you know?
You mean privacy or
Yeah,
something along the lines?
like that. Because I want to keep myself and my colleagues safe, considering it's a decently sized company. And I don't just want to give it away.
Well, I wouldn't worry about safety per se. I don't think you're that big that you have to worry about that yet.
Well, the thing is, right? You can also, let's say it takes another 2 years for me to become, well, let's say 5 years and then I become popular. But this stream will still be on YouTube.
Yeah,
so at that
true.
point, people can watch it, figure out what company I work at.
Well,
And
by that point, you would leave the company, though.
Hello.
hello.
Hello. How was the game?
It's very funny.
Okay, good.
And it's more stressful than I expected.
It gets, like,
It's
it starts
a
out very
horror-ish
stressful,
game, so that's not surprising.
then
I
it gets
guess.
less stressful, and then it gets stressful again because the difficulty ramps up.
I see.
Like the first level is a bit scary, like because you just start playing.
So,
Yeah.
you wanna join us on Sunday? Oh, fuck.
Well, that entirely depends on my availability because, my grandma's gonna be here in the morning, but I'm probably gonna be asleep at that point, knowing myself.
Right.
Because, you know,
Also, what about tomorrow?
yeah, we still have to get a time for that, don't we?
Yes.
What about tomorrow?
Talk about,
Me, Bush, and Mindy are gonna talk about the server shit.
yes. And
Ah.
depending on how,
I was not aware.
because, you know, it is, even though, like, I understand it a little bit, it still feels like this could have been solved a whole lot easier. If only communication went smoother.
You mean if she communicated?
Yes. If only. Because also, funny thing, right? My phone number at my job is an old number from a project manager. So I got called today, and when I was walking to the booth we have that basically silences everything, so you can just call in peace, which I like very much. He stopped calling, and then I called back, and then he said he was looking for the person that used to work there. They used to have my number, and then I explained, yeah, it doesn't have a number anymore, doesn't work here anymore. It was a surprise, but I knew the surprise would be there, so yeah. And save your input. your X and Y input, and then you have your outputs, which
But should I be there tomorrow then as well?
Probably not.
no,
No.
knowing Mindy, that would probably not go well. Considering that apparently she's really shy, which I kind of figured out when she's just left every time I got into the same voice channel as her.
Yeah, I've not spoken to her pretty much at all. Except for like at the beginning when there were some server issues. Well, the end isn't fixed at all.
No.
Still
No,
might
but
still
at
want
this
to
point,
look
I don't
into
know
that
how
at
to
some
fix
point.
the end. The only thing I could think of was literally reset it.
I mean, we could.
Which
If
means
we,
Do
you
you
have to
want
build
to though with the
the
duper?
concrete.
Well, if we take a schematic of it,
Yeah.
then yeah, that'd be fine.
I guess we could also just say like just reset the end, but like just take a schematic of it and then just like paste it in because we already
Yeah,
built it
exactly.
technically.
Or we just reset the entire server.
No.
No,
Why not? It would be a fresh start.
because we just built Spleef.
Because we have so much left to do.
Like
At least
what?
I do.
Yeah, because you haven't built a base yet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
Well,
we in the meantime
yeah.
have built massive bases that, span hundreds of blocks.
Yeah, well, I'm still gonna.
You have a hole under my base.
Which isn't even,
Yes,
which
where
is
I'm still
just an
gonna build.
entrance. I built an entire tunnel that goes from my base to the shopping district, which is thousands of blocks.
Yeah, but we
Mhm.
still aren't sure why you did that.
Train. Quentin will. No, we were playing. I was playing with Open TTD with Quentin yesterday night because we went on for a little bit late because we lost track of time. We were just building trains, and then I realized there were other forms of transport like buses. Then I
Oh,
built
that sounds
buses
boring.
and boats. How did I do that with the other one again? Save this. Grab this and get into the thing. So that's input. It has to be an input and then get bool number.
Bro.
Has to be an input.
Oh.
Um,
Right. Okay. Okay, well, I can't have that circuit, I guess. Too bad.
input. Input. Wait, hold on. This is what I'm doing is entirely wrong. We're gonna do IP bump in, get bool 1, then we're gonna copy and paste it underneath and change this to out and change this to 2. Has any news happened recently?
Probably. I mean, we
Uh,
talked about it yesterday.
What?
I sent you the thumbnail, by the way, for like the Krita file for the thumbnail.
Nice. Also, apparently the company Carpetrite, the place where you can get floor stuff,
Yeah.
because, is bankrupt. Like they
Okay.
tried to do a restart sort of where they just like
Too bad for them, I guess.
yeah. I guess their finances were a little bit creaky, and you know. And wait, hold on. Hold on. Apparently the government right now, the non-active one, is working on a new company for the building of nuclear power plants.
Oh, finally.
It's going to be a state-owned company. The thing is,
Curious.
That was a questionable hitbox. What the fuck was
the
that?
thing is, right? Nuclear power is not that scary. Like, sure, with the old reactors, yes. But we can basically build one that is physically unable to go into meltdown. Like, it gets hot, it basically melts the thing that it's in, and it falls into a little bath that instantly cools it down and stops the reaction from happening. Or it takes away the reactive part, meaning no more reaction, no more temperature, everything cools down. Yeah, you have to basically put new fuel in it, but would you rather have to put new fuel in it or a nuclear explosion? It's one of the two. And it's just all our new energy is basically a different flavor. Like, apart from all the solar and wind, it's just a different flavor of boiling water. Nuclear power plant boils water. Coal power plant boils water. Apart from dams that use moving water, actually. But it's just like you heat up water, turn it into steam, pass it through a turbine, so the turbine starts spinning. Now you turned the chemical energy into mechanical energy, so you now have a rotating shaft. And you connect that shaft to a generator, and congratulations, you now have electricity. It doesn't matter how you get that water hot, as long as you get it to boil. You can use fire, you can use electricity, you can use a nuclear reaction. Doesn't matter, as long as you can use friction as long as you can get it up to temperature, get water to boil, done. And nuclear power plants basically, it's weird that they have to explain it, that it's just energy that it delivers energy without emitting CO2, because it doesn't, that's just not how that works. You're splitting atoms that produces heat. There's no carbon or oxygen involved. Well, there might be oxygen involved, but I'm not sure. No, actually there isn't. It's just but there's no carbon involved. There's no burning. So you don't have those big... That's also a thing, right? With nuclear power plants. You all know those big, towers that have a lot of smoke coming out of them? Yeah, it ain't smoke.
Yeah,
It's steam.
I know it's steam.
Yeah, we know, but a lot of people don't. They think that it's actually steam, but no, they are cooling towers.
Actually smoke, but it is steam.
Yeah. But it's a cooling tower. All it does is just cool the water down.
By the way,
Yes.
Bush,
Yes.
you work for
A company. Yes. I work
Yeah,
for a
but like,
company, indeed. With air conditionings, yes.
Yeah, for air conditioning. So, have you read Cool Air?
No.
Should his company be mandatory to read Cool Air?
Yeah, exactly.
What is Cool Air?
It's a book by H.P. Lovecraft. Because he
What
didn't
is-
understand how air conditioning works. So he wrote a horror book about them.
Ooh, scary. Air gets at a
Yes.
decent temperature. Ooh. Like, also, our office is the only office that actually has really good air conditioning. So even when it's 30 degrees outside, it's going to be a nice, comfy max of 24 degrees. Everything is Celsius because that's your superior. So I basically have way more comfort compared to people working in a workshop. And also I have air conditioning in my car, which I have to actually turn on, wasting fuel, or else my windows will fog up and I won't be able to see shit. Because my body, for some weird reason, produces a lot of heat. Which is probably why I'm walking around in a t-shirt all year long. Because as you can see, I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, but I'm wearing a t-shirt. Because of course you have to be wearing it. Because, yeah. I basically have the philosophy of dress for the temperature you're going to be in most of the time. Because if you're going to basically go outside just once for like 2 minutes, then why just wrap yourself in a lot of layers if you're going to be in an office 90% of the time? If you do want to be comfortable, you just get a coat and put that on when you go outside. Also, at the company that my internship with was made it quite annoying because we had one person that was always cold, like always. To the point where it was like over 25 degrees inside, just because he was cold. In the meantime, I was sweating because, well, that just happens when I get annoyed at at high temperatures. But yeah, thanks to global warming, I think you can kiss those cool temperatures goodbye.
Also, Yoran, I want you to also be disappointed in Bush, just like me,
Why?
because we didn't invite him to the podcast.
Yeah, well, I would
What?
like to keep my dignity.
Invite who to the
dignity?
podcast?
Lubach.
Oh,
The thing is, if I
yeah,
were to
no,
ask
that's
him,
terrible. How dare you?
if I asked the question, he said yes, then it would be incredible and funny. But if he were to say no, then I would look like the biggest nerd in that room.
I mean, that's quite likely anyway.
Yeah, but it's just a thing that I'm. Worst of all,
Oh,
it's
holy
gonna be
shit.
broadcast on YouTube as well. So then, yeah, you're basically just in the history books as the one guy that asked a comedian to be on his podcast.
Yeah.
And plus, he's busy with making the episode. Right,
I mean, I assume the Q&A is after the episode, right? Or during the break or something?
before actually. Well, I think it
Hmm?
depends. but-
It's probably to get people in the mood, if you will.
Oh, that could be,
Yeah, well, I actually have one of you guys actually been there at some point?
No, I think you're thinking of Marijn.
No. Oh come on! Why didn't I? Wait, I think I might know why I
yeah,
don't
I
have
think
phone.
Marijn did go there as well at some point, right?
Yeah. Otherwise,
he did.
Jim. I know where we're gonna go at some point. With the it's the funny thing is, Jim, it's only $8 per person. So and they wanted to do it free, but they didn't do that because they didn't get enough people involved. That you get a lot of cancellations with that because well, it's free, so you don't really have an incentive to go.
Ow! What the?
So so if you have to pay even a small amount of money, you're gonna be like, yeah, I'm just gonna go because I paid money for it. And then you go there, and then you basically sit there for like basically 2 hours after you've gone through quite strict security, and I forgot to take my pocket knife off my keys. And you have to go through actually like you know those metal detector gate stuff. You have to go through there.
Yeah.
Which means you have to empty your pockets and put them all in a basket. And they immediately, as soon as they saw it, they told me that it wasn't allowed in. Luckily, the security was nice enough to say, right, well, just hold on for it. I guess they saw me and realized I wasn't a threat at all. You know?
Yeah, then they saw you and they were like, ah, Lubach can take him on.
Well, considering you're in a room with a lot more people, even if you were to try something, you might get one person before you are being pinned down on the ground.
So he has thought about it.
I just started thinking about it because we're talking about it.
Uh-huh.
At the time of being there, I was more focused on actually getting the pocket knife of my keys, of the little ring, and giving it to the guy, and then actually going there. But then after that, I got it back, and it's back on my keys. Right, apparently there should be no errors now. Ooh, before I forget. Airco, no. Fuel system, on. See, now I don't have to worry about that anymore. I can just jump here. Can I see the screen from here already? It blue screened. Why does it blue screen? Attempt to call a nil value field set color. At 27. So at line 27, it decides there's a mistake. That is this.
I just realized their names are Misty Cloud and Cloudy Mist.
Eh. Let me see how I did that in here. Like,
I assume they're technically the same person as well.
hmm. just have a bunch of messages. Also, I'm gonna have it like for the company, like marketing approached me, and basically what they asked me is if I wanted to do an interview for LinkedIn. So I guess I'm gonna be on LinkedIn with an interview about my first couple of months at the company. I hope it is updated. Nope. But as I said, I'm really glad that I didn't go to the other company that I actually went to, because yeah, I'm still slightly offended at that company's HR. You know, if you have somebody that applies for a job and you have 2 interviews, and I just say, and I immediately said that what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just wait a little bit to give a recruitment agency a chance to, you know, maybe come up with something else so I have material to compare, because having the ability to compare one job application with another is quite important. And then I had the thing, right? I had the call, I had the talk. Engineers were excited, HR was kind of hesitant. And the day after, I was about to call them saying that, yeah, I want to work with you. HR emailed me saying that they didn't want to go through with it. And it kind of offends me. The fact that HR, which should be good at communications, doesn't call. Like, I know I'm not the one that calls. Like, to get me to make a phone call takes effort.
We know.
Yes. But if you have somebody that applied for a job which is quite important, call. Give them a... They had my phone number. They had my CV. They had my resume. They knew what number to call. And they didn't. So... yeah, I'm really glad I'm not at that company. Because if HR is going to be like that, then I'm going to be cross as well and just say, nope. But the company I work at now is excellent. I'm hoping I can stay there for many years.
Bro, what the fuck?
Updated microcontroller, spawned in. Is it still gonna give me... oh wait, it gave me a black screen, didn't it? I guess I know why. It's because I haven't changed the other values yet. Like, these two are the same. Is pressing pump in. Is pressing pump out. Is pressing pump in. Then do this. And then we're gonna copy this bit, paste it here, move that back, add another end to it, call it pump out. I think the amount of pixels are like 32, so you have 1011 with 2020. Although I could, in theory, if I want to have... hello, Gaming Baron. Yes, cheese is... I know you like cheese, and I like cheese as well. Because cheese is great.
Yes. Which is why we eat cheese soup.
Yes.
Oh.
Or just, or I just put cheese on everything. Yeah. I guess I just have to tolerate it.
uh, Jim.
Yeah.
So, I was thinking, where did my minecarts go? Right? Found them.
Wait, the old one from the thing or just from your farm? Oh. Ah.
I think I found them.
Hold on, it's
They formed an
32
orderly line.
by 64.
Yes.
This needs to be 30 if I want to keep a 1
How
edge
this
away.
happened, I do not know.
That's 64 minus 2. 62 is 31. And then you have that block. Then you want to... Now you combine them within each other. So you want to have a 30-30. Same with this. A 30 with a 30. And then you want to
You
have a
bitch, dude.
height, which is going to be 1, and a
just gonna
width, which
cloud
is
set
going to
that
be
fucker.
31, I guess. Alright, that should mean that the blocks are visible on the monitor. Why aren't they visible on the monitor? Wait. What? Hold on. I think I just heard the pumps. And only after like a while did it blue screen. Yeah. As soon as I press it, it blue screens. That's weird. I think I might know why it happens. Or do I? So I first set it to like this color and then draw clear so it does everything. And then if pressing pump, then set else draw filled. Do we need to set the colors for these as well? What did I have for this? Doesn't this make that happen? Wait, we have the end there, so isn't this a double thing? Like saying the same thing twice?
Motherfucker.
Bless you. Yeah, that button just instantly blue screens everything. Because it tries to set a color. And that color results in a value of nothing. So it tries to call. What if I simply do this and then do this? That's a perfect landing. Right now, I just speed ran that warning. Why? So, on draw, what is happening is, let me actually space these. So it's a little bit clearer on what's happening. So what I'm doing first, right, is set the background color to be like set color to 010 and then draw clear. What this does, it draws the entire screen. Then I want to say if pressing pump in, which if you look back, pressing pump in is pump in and is pointing rectangle, which oh. I guess I don't need this bit. Because, well... We're gonna see. Because what it might be is that it tries to get two things. And one of them isn't available. But of course, I still have the color mistake in there. Where it tries to think of a color when it can't on line 33. Which is right here. So we're gonna remove that. I still despise that you can't really make a quick... Well, can't make a test setup like somewhere else. Right now it goes back to 29, calling that a mistake. Still don't understand. So you set the background, then you set the color here. Which in reality I should just do right here, because then you set the color. Like this is how it should be. You first set the color, then you make it the entire background, then you set the color to this. Then you start doing this. Oh, wait a second. This needs to be 1, 30, 30. 1, 1. Oh, whoops. 30, 30. What is it? Also being 30 and 30 and 1 and then 31. Same with this one. You start with the 31 here, move to the 1, and turn the two 20s into two 30s, and boom. Now they're actually, you know, doing what they're supposed to be doing. And the rectangles get drawn in the correct space. But it still mistakes that set color. They go to an if. Pressing pump, then screen draw rectangle filled. Else. Screen draw rectangle.
There we go. All right.
I still feel like I don't need this one. Script. But at the same time, I feel like I do need it. Bump in, and I is pointing rectangle. Oh yeah. So it first reads if you're actually touching it, then it reaches if it's pressing within the rectangle. So it first check if are we pressing? Yes, yes. Then is it within a rectangle? Yes, no. Then it grabs this value. Then it... Oh. I'm stupid. Then you have this is why learning how to code on stream and immediately explaining it is nice, because explaining often fixes mistakes like this. Like, let's say 1 is true, then it sets 1, pressing a button, as an output, and then it ends. And it does this every tick. Then it is pointing a rectangle inside a rectangle, and all this stuff. Then it ends there.
Medicine. What do I even use that
And
for? I
after that
keep
it
getting
undraws.
blood of the Iron Bull. I don't know what that does.
It's about a red.
It's like,
Blue screen.
I don't know if it's even literal blood, but it's like an orange thing. It seems to be like a stone with orange paint on it. That's what they look like.
It seems I have to do it this way, where I set the color and then deal with it.
Oh, it's for cultivating spirit. Wait a minute. I have completely neglected that mechanic for a while. Wait a minute.
And then it caused a mistake there.
Which one am I using? This one? I need a lot of money to upgrade you.
Like, I can just let the thing go into the water.
Who is that? Is that just a shield guy? You are new. I'm just gonna run past you because you were busy talking instead of actually attacking me, so.
Wait. No. No, I have an idea. I have an idea, and it might be considered a war crime.
That guy is gigantic. What the fuck? How about I don't? So what's over here then? What is this?
Ooh, no, no,
Sip
no, no,
me
no, no,
wine.
no, no, no. There we go. There we go. You can do drive-bys in this.
Right. So is the big dude dangerous, or is he just there
Both
for
is.
intimidation? You leave me alone, sir.
Ooh, that's damaged.
You.
Oh.
Ow. Really, that did that little damage? Damn. What the fuck?
Are all these rooms
What's
flooded?
happening?
Well, not entirely. Well, this room is mostly flooded. This room is partially flooded. This room is flooded. This room is starting to flood. I wonder why. Do I still have enough?
Part of
Oh,
me
yeah,
is very
just-
interested in attacking the dude. But I don't think I will.
Like I said, you can do a drive-by What are you thinking about?
Cutscene.
Like, you can just very quickly let this boat sink with one of the lifeboats.
Oh, wait.
Let me slowly back off. And power a little bit. Yeah, if you look inside the ship, this part is dry, this part is dry, this part is flooding, this part is flooding, this part is also flooding. Wonder why and wonder how. This door is broken, so this room is also full of water. And the front room is completely free of water. In the meantime, I left the door open here in the back, but there's also a door damaged. So water's creeping in there. In the meantime, the boat has touched the bottom gently. But I'm still kind of annoyed at... Wait, do the pumps even have power? Or are they connected to anything? No. Where are the controls? There. Pump out. So this is pump in, but this is pump out indeed. This is pump in. Why you blue screening on me, you absolute annoying. I did draw a text box actually. That could possibly fix this. Also, when I got home, I went to cuddle my bun because, of course, as one does. And I was wearing my vest because, yeah. Which meant that I could put it on over the bun's head, and he was kind of enjoying that. Like, he just then stops moving entirely because, well, there's something on top of his head he can't see. So he just becomes calm and just safe. I want to draw a text box. Where's draw text? Draw text box. I want to draw text. Why does it do double? I don't want it to do double. Tab. That. So XY with height, text, highline, V-line. Alright, what else do we have here? Draw the text with the rectangle of XY, which means in this case it is 1, 1, 1, 1. Yes. Text line consists using two parameters for dimension 0 and 1, left, right, top to bottom. With either of the line parameters are omitted, text will be drawn top left by default. Text automatically wraps space when possible. Overflow the top bottom specified rectangle to large. Wait, where? Oh, there. It's been a while since I've worn my Crocs. My Crocs that I won at TwitchCon. Why is this on a sport mode? Like, Crocs are surprisingly comfortable, but I wouldn't wear them, like, on long walks. So left -1 is left, 1 is right. It starts within this, but it should be fine. Basically, want to do that 0, 0. Then, like, start at the center. 0, 0 with the text being bump in. Oh, I think I have to put it within these brackets here. Like, make it say pump in.
What?
Let's see.
What what is happening? I started yin yang on the floor. What the fuck?
Well, it actually gets no, not caps lock. Screen dot get with screen
What is up? What are you
Get-
doing?
height. There we go. Yeah, well, a text alignment needs to be 0, 0. 0 and 0. Width height. Guess 4 and 4 for now. Alright, let's see if this draws a text box or if it throws another warning at me. My brain is kind of tired for this shit. Get height. Yeah, I get that is then a point of failure if you don't even write it correctly. It still doesn't say errors, it just And blue screen. It's set. Oh. Oh. No. No, 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 no. No. Son of a bitch. Is it really that did it? Was it really the lack of a capitalized C that made my code break? Yeah. Although I do see a problem here. You're pressing a...
Why am I covered in milk? What is... I don't understand what's happening.
Like, the text isn't there. So... I guess with the set color being like that, I'm gonna then Control X and Control V it there. Then we're gonna make this a lot more difficult by adding this. Then say screen dot set color. Do we want? So we have a black background
the fight?
with pink.
That was it?
I guess we do black text as well, or like, I guess 15, 15, 15.
Huh.
Else, then we have to use another set color of this. Else we set the color to that and fill that in. But we also have this one underneath there. Control C. Then we have this one here as well. Now, how fucked will this be?
Is that a carp? Are you fighting a carp now? Bro. Oh, you have your own health. Okay.
Alright, I have the square here, but it's the wrong color, and it's also the thing is doing it wrong. You know what? I'm gonna empty this can. Can is empty. That means that on this piece of paper here, I get to do another mark because, well, yeah. There we go. So it works, yet it doesn't work. The text box is fucked. 110. Let me guess. If I turn this into 3030, it works. Because I made the box way too small. Meaning the text bled all over the place. Yeah, see, now it's just bump in. It's weirdly not centered. And it's sideways. How does one fix that, actually? How does one rotate that? Let me actually look that up. Yeah. I open Google, the first thing that I see is an article about how the first Dutch trains are now have a new way of dealing with signals that is more European. How to rotate text in Lua stormworks. Well, I looked it up. The answer is no. So this beautiful 2x1 monitor that I have here is kind of useless. Unless I mess around a little bit, move this like up here for a second, grab this, move it about there, grab this again, move it down a bit, put it there, put this there, merge everything together into one body, and boom.
Jim.
Yeah.
Did you know? Okay, it's gonna take a little while, but they're working on another Yakuza.
think I did see something about that, yeah.
Yeah, this doesn't work yet.
If it'll be any good, I don't know, but
But I'm gonna deafen myself real quick on Discord. Because I'm gonna press a button. It still feels a little bit weird that it doesn't work. Or it works again, my stream deck. Just gonna get the camera to cooperate. Thank you. Yeah, I am gonna end it here because I'm tired. I've had 3 hours of sleep today. Which is not enough, turns out. But yeah, if you like what you saw and want to see more of it, make sure to let me know through chat on YouTube with a view, a like, a follow, a subscribe, whatever. As long as there's feedback, I'm gonna be happy. And all feedback is welcome, even if you didn't like it. If there are ways to improve. And yeah, next stream will be Wednesday, will be variety, probably going to be Dero Valley again, some more steam powered stuff. Because steam power, it's fun and challenging, especially because last time I ran out of water. The steam engine that lacks water is going to eventually blow up. If I did or if I didn't, you would have to watch on YouTube. Which, if you just look up Bush Person under the same name, same logo, same everything, you will find the VODs that I've recorded. But yeah. I wish everybody a very pleasant evening, night, morning, or afternoon. And for me, goodbye.